I think overall the pipeline is strong. And I think a good consequence again of the refocused commercial strategy I announced last October.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by OnCommune CEO Martin Goldstone. Martin, very good to see you today. You've announced a new contract with a major pharmaceuticals company valued at $700,000, and that follows another contract that you announced back in May worth at least $1.5 million. So really gaining traction with your commercial progress.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. We are, and it's a real, I think, strong indicator of our commercial traction that we're gaining in the market. It's also a good indicator of the growing importance of profiling autoantibodies in particularly diseases that affect the immune system or disease therapies that affect the immune system. So we're very pleased indeed to see these come in.
Let's start with the latest contract, Martin, because that's with a customer that you already have a relationship with, isn't it?
Yes, we have a master service agreement with them. We won that through a comparative study they did a couple of years ago on our technology versus a couple of competitors, where they decided that we were the autoantibody company of choice for them. Unfortunately, like many big pharma, they've had R&D spending cuts and freezes in the last year in particular, but those are kind of loosening up now. We're seeing that in many of our kind of ongoing relationships with big pharma, so which is also a good thing to see. So yeah, so this is an agreement where we actually hold half of the samples in our freezers already. We've held them for a while. So that means that we don't have that risk of samples not arriving, and also we can start work pretty quickly on the contract, which is great.
Yeah, and as a preferred supplier, could this lead to something bigger with the company, Martin?
Potentially, yes. We have a number of discussions obviously ongoing with them, and I'm hopeful that some of those will unstick and unfreeze a bit now as well. So yeah, it's a really good sign for us.
Martin, can you touch on the contract you announced back in May, the one that's worth at least $1.5 million, and that's also with a global pharma company?
Yeah, that was really pleasing. That's one of the largest contracts we've ever signed as an organization. Follows on directly from a smaller pilot project we did with them, looking at a new application of the technology, being able to elucidate or the profile autoantibodies against IgE, which is a difficult thing to do because of the much smaller concentration of IgE in blood serum compared to IgG, for instance. So that is a direct consequence of the success of that initial pilot. So we're really, really pleased with that as well.
Martin, what's your pipeline looking like at the moment? I mean, you talked about gaining traction.
Yeah, we've got a strong growing pipeline behind these, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to announce further deals in the near future. Perhaps not always at the same scale, but you will appreciate we get a mixture of projects in. So these larger projects are typically won off the back of successful pilots that are run first. So we have a mixture of things in the pipeline. I think overall the pipeline is strong. And I think a good consequence again of the refocused commercial strategy I announced last October and growing our commercial team out, particularly in the US market. And we will continue to do that.
And with these recent wins, you say in the RNS that you're on track to meet your full year 2024 targets and also to achieve profitability in full year 25.
Yeah, that is the goal. And contracts like these give us a lot of confidence that we can do that. And we are, very excited here, actually. I think this is one of the largest revenues we've managed as a company. If we reach profitability next year, I think it'll be the first time in the company's history that it's got anywhere near profitability. So really excited about that and hopeful that it's a consequence of all the hard work and hard yards we've put in the past 12 months in particular into the business.
Well, Martin, I hope you'll keep us updated on any further progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
My pleasure, Stephen. Thanks for the invite and good to chat.
That's OnCommune CEO Martin Goldstone.